Honestly, I think it'd be a miracle if you didn't want to build this commander deck. Hi, I'm Warren. I own Crackerjack Games, and we're taking a look at one of the face commanders from Duskmourn Commander. Let's take a look at Aminatou, Veil Piercer. Now, the full list is going to be in the comments, and this deck is definitely built from scratch for me. But there's going to be some cards from the pre-con because, they do a great job of building those pre-cons now. So we're in Esper, we're playing Enchantments for sure. At the beginning of your upkeep, Surveil 2. Its miracle cost is reduced by 4. So we're going to have a deck full of enchantments. And we want a bunch of them that have 4 colorless mana in the mana cost, so that we can get them out for super cheap, add instant speed on other people's turns. One of the ways you do that is you play a ton of cantrips. Ponder, Preordain, Consider. But 2 that I really like that you don't see very often are Telling Time and Omen of the Sea, which miracles in its own right. Surveil 2 is great, but how about we get another Surveil in our upkeep from Search for Azcanta? This will flip very quickly in this deck, and you'll have another land that lets you impulse for more non-creature spells. The only thing better than paying 4 less for our enchantments would be paying free for our enchantments. So we're going to include As Foretold here. Now, some other notable enchantments I think really fit well in the deck. We've got Retreat to Coralhelm. You're going to make land drops, so you might as well start setting up your next card. We're also going to try Miracle Confiscate. We're going to try and control someone else's permanent. We're definitely playing Extravagant Replication. Imagine making copies of Confiscate and taking a bunch of other stuff. Up until this point, I'd say Alayla Artful Provocateur is probably the best Enchantments Esper commander. So we're including her in the deck because we're going to get tons of payoff and tons of flying fairies. And 2/1 flying creatures is great. But how about we Miracle Day of Dragons? And have a ton of 5/5 dragons. Sure, we're going to lose our creatures, and if this gets removed, that's a problem. But this is a win con as far as I can see it. We also have Omniscience in the deck, obviously. Paying 6 mana for Omniscience instead of 10 is really reasonable, especially if you flip it on someone else's turn. This card's getting a reprint in Foundation, so watch out for it. I also think this deck really wants to play Heliod the Radiant Dawn. It's a legendary enchantment creature, so you're going to be able to play it for 2 mana potentially. And the backside is just nuts. You may cast spells as though they had flash, and spells cost 1 less to cast for each card your opponents have drawn this turn. All of a sudden, we're going to start having free cards, or 1 mana cards. And that's the place I want to be in Commander. Now, if all of that doesn't win you the game, we're just going to play Opalescence as well. We've got a nice little reserve list card. It turns all of your enchantments into creatures, and their power and toughness is equal to their mana value. So, take a look at the link in the comment. Let me know what you think of the deck. And get out there and play a bunch of big spells for really cheap. Hope this helps.